Okay. Look, I've got a bit of a pet theory, and I'm probably going to be totally shot down in flames for this, but, you know, work with me, okay? I think, here's the theory, Australia has problems making decent comedy movies. And I'd like to put a challenge to you to name 10, just 10, that stand the test of time or even the test of a second viewing. And I don't mean sit there and, you know, work over it for the next 3 weeks, but what comes to mind? Come on, work with me. The Castle, good, yep. The Dish, oh, I love The Dish, yeah. Kenny, good. Oh, Crocodile Dundee, oh no, not Crocodile Dundee, all right, okay, if you must. Yeah. Muriel's Wedding, oh look, I love a good wedding video, I really do, yeah. Crackerjack, good, yeah, and yeah, see? List runs dry pretty quickly. Now, wouldn't you think, with all that culture from Irish convict ancestors, that Aussies would know how to laugh at themselves and maybe make others laugh too, right? But over the generations, the funny gene just seems to have been like bred out of us in some way. Too much time in the sun, maybe. Perhaps the conventional comedy film genre has been the problem. And with a different perspective, like a mockumentary, suddenly something might be working well. Razzle Dazzle. Definitely dances right up to the footlights and takes centre stage. Films like This Is Spinal Tap, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, all created by and starring Christopher Guest and guests, have pretty much cornered the mockumentary market and turned in consistently clever and entertaining offerings. The Guest model is to use the same core of actors and to largely improvise the dialogue around key plot points. Razzle Dazzle is not quite as freeform. It has a very defined script and dialogue, but the actors so completely inhabit their characters, it feels fresh, alive, and, in its own way, very, very real. Miss Elizabeth, played by Jane Hall, and Mr. Jonathan, played by Ben Miller, run competing dance schools for little girls and have very different approaches to teaching. Miss Elizabeth is a strict disciplinarian, and the success of her students in competitions proves she's absolutely right, of course.
Oh, what am I saying? It's not really good enough. Here I was giving you all that fake praise.
Mr. Jonathan, on the other hand, is far more organic in devising dance routines that have a strong social conscience, like the oppression of women living under the burden of a burqa and with the fear of firearms all about them, is naturally something every preteen tapper yearns to explore through creative expression, right?
If you get hit on the head, you're dying, and I want to see
Yeah, Mr. Jonathan's a bit out of sync with the kids, as is Miss Elizabeth, but in very different ways. Now, what Razzle Dazzle is bravely saying that no step-up sequel has dared to reveal is that dance schools are not about enriching the lives of the students. No. They're about fulfilling those empty vessels of dream and desire for the teachers and the parents. And that is where this movie hits the jackpot.
I've never pushed to kneel. I've actually seen some mothers pushing their daughters, and I've never pushed to kneel.
As the stage mother from hell, Kerry Armstrong totally shines. Her dance routine with the daughter at a backyard party and her Barocca breakfast are bend in half laughing moments. She is absolutely wonderful. But wait, there's more. The support cast all have their moments in the sun. Tony Lamond, I personally consider her a national living treasure. Absolutely nails her mock interview scenes as Sherry Leonard, expressing an exuberant devotion to the art and tradition of dance competitions. This is beautifully counterbalanced by the other judge, a strategically poker-faced Nolene Brown.
The dancing today has been of the highest standard. You haven't made it easy for us.
Tara Marie, so funny as Mr. Jonathan's mute costume designer Marianne. And as a remarkably normal single mother in the midst of all the madness, Nadine Garner adds a much-needed grounding touch. Then there's Denise Roberts. Oh my. This woman plays mockumentary as if she's been doing it all of her life. Such a brilliantly conceived character, deploying a rather unconventional recruiting method for new dance students. Her actions may seem exploitive, even criminal to some. But look, if it gets the job done, what's wrong with the occasional kidnapping? 10 points to the scriptwriters, British comedian Robert Inch, Carolyn Wilson and director Darren Ashton, squeezing so much life into the characters and so many laughs out of the action. Now, one final element to applaud are the dance routines choreographed by John O'Connell, who totally got what was needed here. Deep ideas, layered with energy and topped with total tackiness. Through dance, we come to understand that oppressed women can indeed be set free in any nation. All they need are new hairdos. Now, I recall seeing Razzle Dazzle the day it was released, an early afternoon session with just 3 people in the audience, self included. 2 of us laughed out loud and the third person got up and left sort of halfway through. Now, I know a film like this divides audiences. Some people hate it, and I do wonder if that's a subject matter thing. You know, is it a phobia about tutus, tap shoes and sequins? But I suspect it's more likely that some people just don't get the genre. The usual cues of what's funny and what's not aren't present in a mockumentary, like a TV sitcom without a laugh track and, you know, knock-knock jokes not build up in the right way. There is no build-up in the dialogue. It's in the situations and the gulf that exists between what a character says about themselves or others and what they're actually doing. Their own self-delusion is a big part of where the humour lies. And getting inside that, well, it requires an inquiring mind, an understanding, an appreciation of irony. And that's why I think a lot of people don't get it.
We've got to think about the children. We're preparing them for a life in the theatre. And the theatre's all about bitter disappointment and failure and derision. And Mr. Jonathan knows all about that.
But if you can appreciate that rare bird of filmic mirth, the mockumentary, Razzle Dazzle dances up a storm of dark and biting and also a pretty warm heart. End. You might have found this review via YouTube, which is great, but do you know about the complete Between the Cracks website? There's more information on this and other reviewed films, links to relevant articles, other videos, and access to all the past reviews in one place. Between the Cracks, one word, .reviews.
Are you happy with that take?
Yeah?
Oh, okay.
Why? What's wrong with it?
It just didn't sound sincere.
I just gave them a web address.
Yeah, but...
So, a more sincere sounding web address?
Yeah, that'd be good. We'll go again?
Sure, why not? That's Between the Cracks, one word, .reviews. Better?